Getting engaged is easy. Getting engaged well is basically a full logistics operation, and most people completely blow it by picking the wrong country. So today, we're fixing that. We're ranking countries by 4 strict criteria: lighting, crowd density, champagne proximity, and wind behavior. Because yes, wind is a factor. And no, we're not negotiating on that. Some countries are proposal royalty. Some are proposal disasters. And one country has absolutely no business being on any romantic list ever. By the end of this, you'll know exactly where to pop the question. And more importantly, where to run. Let's start at the bottom, because someone has to. D tier. These are the countries that sound romantic until you actually show up and reality introduces itself. First up, the USA, specifically Times Square, which, look, someone is proposing there right now. Someone else is filming it on a selfie stick. A third person dressed as Elmo is about to walk into the frame, and the champagne is $22 from a cart that also sells hot dogs. The photobomb probability here is essentially 100%. You will spend your engagement announcement cropping out a bachelor party from Ohio. Pass. Then there's India, specifically the Taj Mahal. Breathtaking backdrop, genuinely one of the most beautiful structures on the planet, and also about 40,000 other people had the exact same idea today. The humidity will destroy any blowout within 4 minutes. Your ring hand is sweating. The person next to you is also proposing. It's chaos, and not the charming kind. Australia, gorgeous, dramatic, world-class scenery. The problem is you're proposing at sunrise, because proposing at sunset means mosquitoes the size of small birds descend on you like a biblical event. Your partner will be swatting at something, not swooning. The ring goes on, the bug spray comes out. Docked. Iceland. Moody, cinematic, volcanic, extraordinary. It genuinely looks like a film set. And then the wind hits 60 miles an hour and the ring box becomes a projectile. You lunge for it. The moment is gone. You're both now just 2 cold people standing on a lava field watching a small velvet box roll toward the Atlantic. Incredibly dramatic, not in the right way, but now we're getting somewhere. These next countries actually understand the assignment. B tier. Strong, respectable, minor deductions. Japan, specifically Kyoto during cherry blossom season. Perfect in theory. You planned this for 2 years. You booked a ryokan 8 months out. You timed the flight to hit peak bloom. You arrive, and it rained for 3 straight days. The blossoms peaked last Thursday, and every single person standing around you is also crying, but for entirely different reasons. Still beautiful, still special, still technically B tier because the ceiling, when it works, is extraordinary. It just rarely works. Greece, specifically Santorini, the gold standard of proposal backdrops, technically. The whiteness, the cliff at sunset, it's perfect. Except every single person on that cliff had the exact same Pinterest board as you. You're not proposing on a romantic cliffside, you're proposing in a queue. Someone else's photographer keeps walking through your shot. A tour group arrives. You wait. You go anyway. It's still beautiful, but you share the moment with about 60 strangers who are also taking the same photo. Ireland scores points for the cliffs, the drama, the 0 crowds, the genuinely wild sky. It loses points because it will absolutely be raining when you do this. Your photographer's lens fogs up. You're both in waterproofs. Love conquers all, but it does not conquer a fogged lens. A tier. This is where proposals actually work. Italy, Amalfi Coast, Venice, take your pick, is close to flawless. Golden hour lighting that makes everyone look like they belong on a magazine cover. Wine is within arm's reach at all times. If you propose in public, locals will applaud you, genuinely, because they mean it. The only deduction for Venice is pigeon interference, which is a real and persistent threat to any outdoor moment. France, and specifically not the Eiffel Tower queue, which has more in common with a DMV than a proposal spot. Paris itself, though, the streets, the bistros, the wine, the light, the city practically proposes on your behalf. You almost can't fail here unless you pick a Tuesday in February, near a construction site, in which case that's on you. New Zealand is criminally underrated on this list. 0 crowds, Lord of the Rings scenery, lights so good it barely seems real, and locals so genuinely warm they'll get emotional right alongside you. It scores extremely high on every metric, and almost nobody considers it. And then there's S tier. 1 country, no competition. Every country we've covered had at least one problem. Japan had the weather, Santorini had the queue, Iceland had the wind. Even France had that one Tuesday in February. Every single entry on this list came with a footnote. The Maldives has no footnote. Let's run the criteria. Crowd control first. You booked a private overwater villa. The nearest other person is roughly 200 meters away, also on their own villa, probably also proposing, and completely irrelevant to your moment. There is no queue, there is no tour group, there is no Elmo, just you, your partner, and the Indian Ocean, which at sunset is so unreasonably beautiful, it barely seems fair to every other country on this list. That's not an exaggeration. The light here does things that professional photographers spend entire careers trying to recreate artificially, and the Maldives just does it every single evening for free as a default setting. Champagne logistics solved before you even thought to ask. Your butler pre-chilled it. Wind. This is where it gets almost offensive to Iceland. The Maldives gives you a gentle, warm breeze, the cinematic kind that moves hair in the right direction and makes everything look intentional, not the kind that launches a velvet ring box toward the Atlantic. The wind here is on your side. It has been briefed. The one deduction, and there is exactly one, is that this costs approximately 1 kidney. It is not a budget destination. It is not a we'll figure it out destination. It requires planning, commitment, and a willingness to accept that some experiences simply cost what they cost. The good news is you can book the Maldives as part of a cruise itinerary, which spreads the cost, handles the logistics, and means you arrive already relaxed instead of jet-lagged and stressed from 3 connecting flights. We set 4 criteria at the start of this video: lighting, perfect; crowd density, 0; champagne proximity, already poured; wind behavior, cinematic. At which point, you're not just engaged, you're basically the third act of a film.